Yeah, and it turns on. So what's this doing here? It's getting turned on and off. So recall what I said before about the Arduino. It can switch pins to different voltage levels, right? You can switch it to 5 volt or 0 volt. So if you actually look at the code that will be below here, what you'll see is that the code that you're writing is that's included in Blink is turning pin 13 to high and low. And what that means is it's switching it to 5 volt or 0 volt respectively. So what happens is if you keep this pin connected to ground, so let's just reverse this right now, and plug this into ground over here, while we plug this end into 13. So what's happening here? It's actually turning on and off as well, this LED that we have right here, right? So what that means is that every second, because in your code you'll have a delay line, which just means delay by this many milliseconds, and that's set to 1000. So every second, it'll alternate this pin 13 from 5 volts and 0 volts. When it's 5 volts, recall that we have a potential difference now. So it's pushing the current through, turning it on. When it's 0 volts, well, 0 minus 0 is 0. There's no difference, so no current gets pushed through and the LED is off.
So just be careful to note that this time, it looked like Nelson just flipped the circuit, but what he actually did is there's another ground hole here. So previously the ground hole was here, now it's over here. And previously, instead of us sticking the positive end into the 5 volts, we stuck it into pin 13 because in the Blink program, it's pin 13 that's getting turned to 5 volts and 0 volts repeatedly.
Yeah.
So just to show you that you could have done the exact same thing using the ground pin over here. If you simply take this, we stuck it into the ground pin over here because it was easier to do it this way. But if you can somehow manage to bend your circuit, you can stick the negative end of your LED into that same ground pin that you were using earlier, and the exact same thing will happen.
It's just that they have multiple pins for ground. Usually that's not even enough, but
Right.
Yeah, for now it's good. So yeah, so this is the basic functionality of Arduino. You can turn things on and off, and what we can do next is actually vary the brightness of the LED. So this is what's really cool. It uses something called pulse width modulation. So let's cover that on the board right now.